Hey guys, this is Rise and I'm back with Klazart for another commentary. That's right, we're going to do another round of 16 OSL commentary. Batu 2008 OSL. This game is Jaedong versus Kal, and they're playing on Tears of the Moon. And Tears of the Moon is actually a Tears of the Protoss, apparently, when facing the Zerg, because Zerg are the overwhelming favorites on this map with a 80% win ratio right now before this game, for this map. So we'll have to see if Kal can overcome this. Now, Kal's best matchup is against Zerg, but you got to keep in mind that Jaedong's ZVP is not too shabby, having about a 65% win rate himself. So the question is, can Kal overcome those overwhelming statistics against him? I don't know. What do you think, Klaz?
If it was anyone but Jaedong, well, if it was July or Savior, I wouldn't put money on him either. I would probably put my money on Jaedong. And unfortunately, we might have Tears of Blood from Kal written on Tears of the Moon. And instead of a man in the moon, we might be seeing Kal's tears etched across it if we look up at the night sky after this matchup. But Jaedong looks like he's going to start off scouting in the wrong direction. He is scouting clockwise. Or, sorry, yeah, he is scouting clockwise, starting up at the 6 o'clock position, and Kal at the 1 o'clock position. So Kal, again, waiting till after he's put his gateway down to send his first probe out. I guess on a map like this, you might probably get away with it. I personally am a favor of Bisu's method of sending that first probe out right away after getting that first pylon down, so that even if you scout in the wrong direction, and it looks like an overpool for Jaedong, which I think is a fairly good build. We have been seeing a lot of overpools from Zerg players versus Protoss players recently, and they seem to work out quite well. So yeah, I'm probably going to back Jaedong on this, but nevertheless, I think this will hopefully be a very competitive matchup.
Yeah, I guess I should mention why this map is so favored towards Zerg versus Protoss, and it's really because you can't do the Bisu build. And really, 2-gate isn't a great strategy in the Pro League for Protoss to be going against Zerg players. It's just very difficult to pull off these days, the Bisu build, the Forge Fast Expand being the standard. And really, this map doesn't allow for it because it has that both front and rear entrance. So what it does is it just naturally makes it very difficult to wall off in any way. You'd have to probably put down 3 or 4 cannons to really secure it, because the ability to get a surround on this map is just insurmountable for the Protoss players to overcome. So basically what we're seeing is Kal's adaptation of this map, trying to go for, actually it looks like a single gate tech build, so it looks like he's not even going to go for a 2-gate, which I think he might have been better off with, but really either way, he's going to have a very uphill battle to try to win this match. And Jaedong now going for his, after going for, I don't know if it was a 9-pull or an overpull, I wasn't quite paying attention, I was looking at the map itself, but it looks like he's going to get that second hatchery down now, and Jaedong going to take a very quick economic lead, and this is where the Protoss have difficult overcoming it, and we'll have to see what Kal does to cope with it.
Yeah, I can see the debate between going for a 1-gate build versus a 2-gate build. Obviously, with a 2-gate build, you can effect a little more stern harass on your Zerg opponent and force them to think about what they're doing in terms of their economy. And Jaedong now coming in with the Zerglings. Kal has the 2 Zealots out to defend, and Jaedong has managed to get through. This is horrible for Kal. Jaedong managed to sneak his Zergling through. I mean, it's not going to matter anyway because his Overlord is going to be floating over in a second, but his build is going to be revealed a lot earlier than he would have liked to Jaedong, and now he's putting the Zealots back. Obviously, the 1 Zergling isn't going to harass too much. I suppose Kal was hoping that his Dragoon would pop out soon enough, and Jaedong would not have been able to get the scout in, because he would have been able to usher that Overlord away with the Dragoon, and so Jaedong wouldn't know whether Kal was going for a DT rush, or whether he was trying to do something different, or whether he was going for maybe High Templar with speed lots, kind of a mid-game sort of push against Zerg, which can be quite effective as well. It looks like Jaedong has put his 3rd hatchery down, and I think started up his lair as well. So Kal now with the Dragoon out, and I think he started up his Stargate, and it's just a question of what sort of build he's going to go for. And I can see the argument for going 1-gate versus 2-gate. Obviously, 2-gate, you put a little bit more pressure on the Zerg early on, affect their economy. 1-gate, you're going to try and catch them by surprise with your tech, but I think that's going to be hard to pull off against Jaedong, so I think you're probably right that a 2-gate build would have been a better option.
Well, you got to keep in mind that on a 1-base tech build, obviously you only have 1 gas, and when you do the Forge Fast Expand, normally what you do is you get your gas down right as the Cybernetics Core is going down, or sometime in that time frame when the Cybernetics Core goes down. This way, you can take advantage of both the assimilators and, you know, really put a strong tech build going forward, like Ser DT or Ser Reaver. Now, they're both heavy tech, gas-heavy builds, because you're making Corsairs that cost 100 gas. You may be making DTs or a High Templar. Ooh, wow, look at that Hydra. That is a artistic rendition of a Hydra list. I could never draw that. I tried drawing one yesterday, actually, or last week, and it came out horribly. I will not show that to anyone, sorry. But anyway, Jaedong is now getting his tech up, and it looks like he's going to go for a quick glare. I don't know if he's going to go for a... He's got some Hydras out right away, so he may be going for a quick lurker build. But he does have what looks to be 3 hatcheries. Yeah, he has 3 hatcheries down, so it may be a 3-hatch lurker build or something along the lines of that. And Kal is moving out early and see if he can put the pressure on that he needs to right off the bat. And it looks like he's going to try to secure an expansion at the same time, which of course is what you want to do, attack and expand. And he is doing a pretty good job of that right off the bat. But Jaedong with 3 hatcheries, I think he's going to be able to produce enough units where this isn't going to be a problem for him. And looks like Kal is at his front door at this point.
Yeah, Kal coming in with 2 Dragoons and 4 Zealots as well. Jaedong pushed some Zerglings around the back as well, so he was actually ready to come and pincer Kal's units, and Kal's Dragoons are going to get pincered, so Kal's going to be in a huge amount of trouble here, because if he loses all of his ground force, it's going to put him in a world of hurt. But he is going to try and take that Overlord down with the Corsair, and he might have DTs following up after his force. So he has managed to get the kill on the Overlord, but he's lost his entire ground force in the process. So Jaedong is not going to be able to counter it. I'm not sure how Kal is going to be able to defend this. Unless he's got DTs coming, he might be able to use DTs to defend his natural expo, but he has spent the resource on the natural expo, so personally I don't feel he's going to have a Citadel or a Templar Archive over time. And Jaedong now coming in with the Zerglings, and Kal is going to be forced to use his probes to block those Zerglings. Jaedong is going to be able to take down the first photon cannon anyway, and Kal has put a couple more photon cannons out, but more Zerglings coming in for Jaedong, and Jaedong's Zerglings are through into Kal's main, and Kal is in huge trouble right now. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to recover from this. Jaedong now hammering away at that gateway. Photon cannon going down. I think Jaedong being a little bit careless. Zealot pops out for Kal. Jaedong tries to take it down, but he wasn't able to do that. And I think Jaedong's missed a trick there. If he'd gone straight for Kal's main, he might have been able to take that photon cannon down. At the very least, he should have taken the pylon down that was powering the gateway. Kal has brought another Zealot out, so Jaedong, even with a full control group of Zerglings inside Kal's base, has not really done a lot of damage. He's only killed a single Zealot, although he did take that 1 photon cannon down at the natural. So Kal survives with some decent micro, but it has to be said, Jaedong didn't make the most of that opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with you. I think that if he went straight to the probe line or split up his link force, he would have been able to do a lot of damage to Kal's base right off the bat. And Kal actually doing a pretty good job of defending this, although he had a lot of probes not mining for quite a while there, and he did lose a cannon, so certainly he did lose a few things as well as his initial force. But Jaedong again did not do enough. But look at this, he's got Muta at this point, so it's almost like he didn't need it. There is 2 cannons now at the main, or a cannon and a half, I guess. We're waiting for the second one to go down. It looks like we're going to see only 2 cannons at the expansion as well. So Jaedong, I think he only had 5 Muta there. It looks like 5 Muta, and 5 Muta will be able to take down 1 cannon, but now 2 Corsairs out over there. So Jaedong may actually have a little bit of trouble dealing with this. The first cannon going to go down. 6 Muta in there now. He's now targeting those Corsairs. Those Corsairs going to have a tough time holding this off. 1 Corsair goes down. I think the other one already went down. I didn't even see it go down, and it's going to be taken out. Now he's got 6 on 1 cannon, and he's going to be able to take that cannon out, and now Kal is just dead. He's got 7 Muta in his base, no 8 Muta in his base, no anti-air at all, and there's no way that he's going to be able to protect those probes as those cannons continuously are trying to put down, and now a shield battery going down. I'm guessing for the Corsairs, but it looks like he's not even going to have a chance to use that, as those Mutas are just taking out all the buildings in sight, and now starting to focus on those probes. And oh man, Scourge there to take out anything that might be coming out at the last second. A couple of goons out as well, but again, not going to be able to do anything. No, that Corsair is going to go down. No, it manages to get past the Scourge, but then the Scourge landing gets taken out. The last cannon is going to go down, and that's going to be it. Kal is going to have to GG. There's no way he's going to be able to do this, even with his pitiful 1 Zealot counterattack. There's no way he's going to be able to survive this.
Yeah, you can see the disadvantage of the one gate build, of the one base build for Kal. He didn't put any pressure on Jaedong's economy, and Jaedong, even though he didn't do a huge amount of damage with those 12 lings, he did take that 1 cannon down, which obviously wasn't ideal for Kal. And Kal finally GG's. But yeah, that one gate build really was going nowhere for Kal, because he didn't put any pressure on Jaedong's economy, and at the same time his tech was just so far behind. I don't think he got a single decent tech building up beyond his cybernetics core and Stargate. He didn't have a Citadel of Aran down, he didn't have a robotics facility down, forget about Reavers or DTs, he had no high level tech at all, and he had only the 1 gateway producing Dragoons, so there was no way he was ever going to be able to cope with Jaedong's. And actually I think Overpool is quite a clever build, because it allows you to get your economy going quite quickly, but at the same time, it allows you to tech fairly quickly as well. So I think personally Overpool is a great build for this sort of situation, and you can see why this is such a tough map for Protoss, and why the Bisu build, why the Forge Fast Expand is so important.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like if they didn't have the Forge Fast Expand, Protoss would never beat Zerg, because either that or pro players have forgotten how to play one base against Zerg, and really, that may be also the case, because it's pretty unlikely that they'd be going that build much at all. Obviously, we never see it, you know, against a Zerg player, except for maybe on a map like this where it's impossible, or just so difficult that it's not worth even trying. And Jaedong looking cool, looking like he may happen to win an OSL. Who knows? It's a little early to tell, of course, but certainly a favorite, I would imagine, at this point. And he's going to be very happy to have won this match. And Kal, of course, looking very disappointed, but really, I don't know what he could have done. I mean, that game on a map that favored against Zerg, against a player like Jaedong, I really just didn't think there was a way for him to win. And Jaedong taking the victory and looking happy about it.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Kal, because he's made it into the OSL, he's trying his best, and he ends up against Jaedong on Tears of the Moon, and unfortunately the only result is Tears of Blood for Kal. So GG for Jaedong, I guess. And Jaedong needed this win because he lost, I believe, last week in his OSL matchup last week, so now he's 1-for-1. So he needed this win to be comfortable, and he's gonna still need to win his next match as well to be sure of progressing through.
Yep, so we got one more match to do, and let's get to it. See you guys there.